But today we are riding along with the inspectors of Inspect It Like a Girl, namely Hailey. She works for Pybas, and that is a woman-owned inspection company up in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm so excited to hang out with them. We've had Pam on the podcast before, the Wraparound podcast. Now we're going to get to do the ride along and check out an amazing house here in Jackson, Mississippi. And, you know, the people here are so sweet. They're so kind. Any single one of them, you can knock on a stranger's door. They will cook you supper. But let me tell you, I've got only two issues with this part of the country. One, I can't understand a word that's said. And two, I don't know where yonder is, because I'm told you go yonder that way. Every which way is yonder, okay? You want to get to that place? Yonder. You want to go up there? Yonder. You want to go back that way? Also yonder. Everywhere is yonder. I don't know which it is. But, you know, the people are kind, and the houses, a lot of them built on slab. You don't see a whole lot of basements around here. I think the only real issue that we're going to have with some of the camera equipment on this shoot is that it is dumping buckets of rain here in Jackson today. And so that can be a little bit problematic, not problematic for a home inspection, because as any home inspection will tell you, rainy days are the best days to do an inspection. Not the best for me, not the best for the inspector. No, we do not enjoy standing out in the pissing rain. We don't. But you know what? It is good for the home buyer, because water can expose all kinds of potential issues. You can see flashing issues, you can see roofing issues, you can see siding issues, just places where water should not be getting in. Stands out. So we're going to do a little bit of the inspection in the rain. We'll try to get as much film to the exterior as possible. And hey, this is the nature of the gig. You got to work with what you got. All right, so welcome in, everybody. We are sitting in the home office of Inspect It Like a Girl here with Pam Pybas and Hailey. What's your last name?
Vomburg.
Vomburg, that's right.
Yes.
Or as your Instagram was,
Vombeezy.
Hey, is that what they called you in high school, though?
No, they call me a lot of things, but it was not that.
Not that. Oh, it saunds like something that I'm going to say back in high school. So, yeah, so we're going out on a beautiful inspection today. This is going to be, gosh, how big is this house? About 3,500 square feet?
I think it was 4,000. It's over 35.
Yeah, it's a big house.
It's a big house.
This is a huge house. So now this is going to be great, but this is a little bit of a different inspection than a normal home inspection, because whereas a normal inspection is usually for home buyers, this is going to be...
The home maintenance inspections are mainly for anyone who's probably... Usually it's people who've been living in the home longer, really even original owners. Just they want to know what they need to take care of. They've had work done sometimes, and they want to be reassured that maybe it's been done correctly, or they don't have any leaks in those areas where work has been done. It's a lot of making people feel good that they're okay.
Good.
It's kind of like it's, you know how you go to the doctor every year?
Yeah.
We've been advocating having your house inspected every 4 or 5 years.
Sure.
And so we've actually, I would say probably 40 to 50% of our business is home maintenance inspections.
Fantastic.
So it's not it's not involved in a real estate transaction. These are people who want to know what's going on so that they can take care of it. We had the lady last week who wanted her daughter was going off to college.
Yes.
And so she just wanted to know kind of what was going on with the house and the things that she would need to do to maintain the value of the home.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And so 40 to 50%, that's really going to isolate you from fluctuations in the market, major fluctuations in the market. Because now you're not working directly with realtors, you're working specifically with homeowners. And you've told me in the past that that's really your marketing model anyway. So.
It is, yeah. Yeah, we're consumer marketing. All of our social media is, and our YouTube channel is to help people take care of their homes. And we also want to be the problem solvers.
Yeah.
And so we'll get a phone call that says, you know, I've got a room that won't heat and cool in my house. Will you come over? And we'll go over and do what's called a component inspection. And we found, because we're so well known in our market, as being the thorough inspectors. And I actually was talking to a realtor right as I got back in from my meeting today, and he was like, so what's the advantage of you being the most thorough? Well, if you're going to sell your house and you get us to do the inspection, then the buyer's going to know we're the most thorough, so they probably won't get an inspection.
Yeah.
And we have found that in about 90% of the cases, that once the seller has us do the inspection and then uses that maybe as a disclosure,
Sure.
and they'll give it, then they'll go, inspected like a girl did it. We are known to be there longer than any other inspection company.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and so if you just want a checklist and a cheap inspection, knock yourself out. We don't sell those here.
Sure. Yeah, that's totally makes sense.
We're going to give you a good, thorough inspection so you know what's coming.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to shadowing you, Hailey, and seeing how your process is out here, and also seeing some of the beautiful houses that are going to be featured out in this neck of the woods. Say hello to ISN Evergreen, a new way for you to grow your revenue. ISN Evergreen is a new optional partner program that allows ISN customers to grow meaningful recurring revenue anytime their clients purchase select home services through Porch's provider network. So, what makes Evergreen different than other partner programs out there? Let's find out. Number one, we pay you when your clients buy any of 6 of our services: insurance, warranty, security, TV, phone, and internet, moving, or solar. Number two, we help your clients with a variety of services through a single post-inspection appointment with a dedicated concierge. No more annoying phone calls, and your client's data will not be sold to third parties. It's a service that your clients will appreciate, and it makes you look great. Number three, unlike other partner programs, Evergreen pays a fair upfront commission, which you'll receive even if the deal doesn't go through. That means more frequent payouts and more money for you. When your customer purchases recurring services like insurance or warranties, you continue to get paid on an ongoing basis. That means building consistent and recurring revenue over time. Number five, you'll see your Evergreen payouts on a handy dashboard in ISN so you can track how much extra money you're earning each month. The more services that your clients purchase, the more money you'll earn. So how does Evergreen work, and how can you get it for your business? When you enroll in the program, new clients will receive communication telling them all about the benefits of using Porch Home Services to set up their new home. After paying for their inspection in ISN, your client will be presented with an online scheduler where they can set up an appointment with a home services concierge at their convenience. No more unplanned calls. If they don't set an appointment online, we'll give them a call and see if they need help. We've worked hard to improve the customer experience, and we've achieved a 4.6 out of 5 customer satisfaction score. To keep your relationships positive, ISN customers using Evergreen have multiple options on how to control client opt-outs. You can either manage it yourself or give your clients the ability to opt out of Porch if they don't want or need the service. You'll receive email templates and talking points to answer any questions that your clients might have about Porch Home Services. For more information about Evergreen, contact ISN or sign up now at inspectionsupport.com/evergreen. Okay, what's your process for when we get in here?
Once I get in, I like to set up shop once I get done doing the outside and collect myself. Because you can usually tell the layout of the house kind of through stuff coming through the roof. Try to discern that stuff before I lay out a map and start from the kitchen since it's the most expensive room, and then work to the master, and then usually like to go to the second floor and work.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, so beautiful outside of the house here. Grading looks amazing. Any major issues with the siding that you saw in the inspection?
No, it's wonderful. I don't wood rods, only at the garage trim.
That's it. Man, an easy peasy fix right there. Let's rock and roll. I'll follow you.
Okay, thank you.
So we're gonna follow Hailey on inside. She's gone ahead to get everything set up for her inspection. But I love that Inspected Like a Girl does these home maintenance inspections. This is a great way, especially in a slower real estate market where you as a home inspector can still keep your business running, because home inspections aren't always just for the home buyer, right? We tend to think of them as being a contingency in the home purchase process. But sometimes you got a beautiful house like this where somebody's lived for a long time and they just want to know what needs to be done to maintain and keep up with the house that they already have. So we're going to follow her inside in this house here in Jackson, Mississippi, where the soil's a little bit sandier, the people are kinder, the tea's a little bit sweeter, and hopefully where the houses are pretty well maintained. Let's go check it out. Today's house is an amazing example of a well-kept mid-2000s house featuring a slab foundation, wood framing, brick veneer, and architectural shingle on the roof. Common issues around the exterior included cracks in the driveway, a little bit of cracking in the porch slab out back, missing downspouts, and a bit of trim rot. But overall, it's a really well-kept house and looked absolutely beautiful, just like this pool. The biggest issue of note in the backyard was definitely the sinkhole, which more often than not is caused by damaged sewage piping or water supply piping. But as we can see on closer examination here, there's tree roots in some of these sinkholes. This indicates that there could have possibly been a tree stump here originally, or more likely, this was a repository for brush and debris and tree limbs when the original site work was being done. Over time, that shrubbery and rubbish decays, leaving the void in the ground, which eventually collapses. But before we head inside, let's say hey to the neighbors, because, get it? No, that's a really bad dad joke. Let's just go inside. Hailey moved quickly through the kitchen, which featured some really high-end, upgraded stainless steel appliances, showing just how well the homeowner had taken care of her property. But I was warned by Pybas that Hailey moved so quickly and efficiently that I would need to be faster than a jackrabbit to keep up, or some southernism like that. And since her process is a little bit unusual, we're going to break down the rest of this episode based on some of the key findings on this report, starting with the plumbing. Jackson, Mississippi's water crisis has made headlines the past couple of years for things like poor and failing infrastructure, low water pressure, contaminated water supplies, all in a majority black community. It's essentially the Flint, Michigan of the South. What I'm interested in today is how this has affected residents firsthand, and additionally, how has this affected home inspectors and how they have to go about their job in this area. Both Hailey and the homeowner were kind enough to share their experience with us.
You know, it's been around for a while, but it got really acute in the last 10 years or so, I guess. One of the things that caused problems is the meters that the city put in. They contracted with a national company that put in bad meters. So people got outrageous bills, $900,000 water bills, which, weren't right. And so the system not only, was the whole water system poorly maintained, but the billing system was not proper.
Well, I live in Jackson myself, and so I've been a part of the famous news stuff where we don't have water, there's no pressure. But I've been here for 15 years. So there's a lot of us here kind of used to it, and we haven't drank the water.
You don't drink the water?
Don't drink the water.
So you can bathe with it. What do you do instead?
You suck it up.
Okay, so bottled water or...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you guys do like water quality testing around here for everybody?
Technically the city does and all the municipalities do, but the thresholds are all... I have a science background, so I think standards are not the best, but yes.
Regarding the house, though, two big problems did present themselves.
You've got a flush valve that is in the back corner, so there's no way to maybe flush this line, or you could just use this one.
The other issue was a bit more, explosive.
The TPR extension goes in the up position. It also looks like it got some PVC connections. There's no pan underneath it. It's gas and it's on the ground, so it needs to be up 18 inches. There should be screws here, and then there should be a pipe or a sleeve for the flue pipe.
The garage utility closet hit another issue as well.
This is not good. So we got a door with no vent on it. And as you can see, there's a storage closet in the garage. For the combustion, there's no air for the unit to burn, right? Turn the light on. This door is being kept closed. And you have a gas unit that's gonna also be considered a safety hazard and starve the unit of air.
Quite a shocking find, as were some of the issues with the electrical system.
So, can't get to the main electrical because the nice utility company Energy has put their little tag there. And it also is keeping me from opening this, and this has been jammed in here. So I can't pull it off either.
Ooh, no bueno.
No bueno, that's why I'm done early.
And the issues continued stepping inside the home.
We've got an open knockout. That's a safety hazard because someone can do that. Stick their fingers in it and play with stuff. Unless they're short like me. I may need to get a stool just to reach the top. And I gotta remember that there's a panel underneath us. These are all on.
What are some of the most common electrical issues you find around here?
That bonding bar on the sub panel, double tapped wires. I had a panel the other day where someone had run all the wires over the front of the breakers. It's a no-no. So one of the things that we find, it's kind of actually rare, is Chinese sheetrock. And you really can't tell. The easiest way to find is take off your electrical panel because all your wiring will be eaten up. Because there's sulfur in that sheetrock, and it was just common after Katrina. Supply and demand issues, and people were needing cheap sheetrock and getting it anywhere and everywhere. But there's some houses in the mid-late 2000s that may have a sheetrock somewhere in their house.
The rest of the inspection continued from the attic to the HVAC to the insulation, with a few small issues popping up along the way, as well as a few small helpers. But the best were the small little nuggets of wisdom that Hailey would drop along the way. Like this one.
I have nothing to say about this panel.
Except that you have nothing to say about it.
Except that that's what you need.
It's one of the craziest things you've seen in the inspection.
People buying a piece of house.
And I think that's probably a pretty good cue to head back to the office of Inspect It Like a Girl and draw a conclusion. All right, man, awesome, amazing inspection. Hailey, well done. So I took off to grab lunch while you were wrapping up with the cellar. What are some things that you touched on with the cellar before you left?
Some of the things was like her AC guy was really concerned about that dryer vent right there. And she's got the tubing and everything to do it, but she just hasn't done it yet.
Sure.
So there was silly stuff like that, but we found a reef leak.
Okay.
Thermal. Found a toilet leak, which she kind of already knew about. With the thermal, confirmed it was still leaking. Surprisingly, they had 3 tile showers that did not leak.
Yeah.
Nice.
With foundation repairs and everything else, and everything, it was immaculate. No real rotten windows for what we see for that age in that area.
Well, you know, she was a slightly older homeowner too, but I tell young home buyers all the time, if you can buy from a senior citizen, and I say that with no age discrimination, it is simply because they take care of their stuff. Right, you can tell that she sticks to the maintenance schedules there. If there's something that
it was immaculate.
Yeah, I love it. So no, it's she's a fantastic homeowner, and were she to be selling that property, man, you could walk right into that place and live in it today.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's nice whenever you get those, you know, and it's so funny to me because the people who have a crappy house, they usually don't call for an inspection.
Right. Well, guys, it's been fantastic hanging out with you today. Thanks for letting me crash in and shadow you, Hailey.
Yeah,
great work.
Thank you.
And Pam, great hanging out as always. Had you on the podcast. Looking forward to being on the radio with you.
Radio tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do it. So, and you guys can listen for any of those that are watching this back down the road. How can they listen to your radio show?
You can download. Best thing is download the podcast.
Okay.
On any podcast app, it's Fix It 101.
So anyway, well, next stop is going to be out in Texas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for having me out. I'll see you guys down the road.